for being here. Uh, I have a few questions to ask you, and I'm very keen to hear very interesting answers from you. First up, I'll start with a very mild one. Any cherished memory of your childhood?
I won't say only the childhood, but till I went to class 10th. There was slightly less stress about everything. I was playing cricket, competing in school sports, whatever sports was happening, I was competing. So I'm very fond of my school days, especially till class 10. So, I can pick anyone from there and, I can be very happy. And if given a chance, I would relive that moment in a sense. I'm happy to go back to school and, study and play sport.
Awesome. And I'm sure this is a good lesson for the youngsters who are going to school to enjoy that period that
I think it's the best period because a lot of youngsters that I've spoken to now, they complain that they don't have enough time for studies and sports. Right. But, if you're attentive in class, you don't need to revise a lot. And then if you are good in time management, you can get time out for sports and studies. And absolutely. I've always felt that you have a lot of energy as a kid. So you're not short of energy. It's just that, you want to do something more than other. It may be sports more than studies or studies more than sport, but absolutely. The right combination is very important.
Very nice. Thank you so much. We all know your passion for cricket and also for biking. Where did this passion for biking start?
Well, if you see in India, biking compared to some of the other parts of the world, biking is more fun. In other parts, it's more recreation. But in India, when we were growing up, it was more a form of commuting. You're going from one place to the other. It's either a bike or a scooter, or those were the primary forms of transport. So, yes, we also used to do the same. And when we used to practice, we had a senior cricketer, who would bring his bike and he would park it. And he had a very funny way of telling us, he'll be like, you want to take the catch or not? I'm not worried. So my bike is behind you. If anything breaks on the bike, you have to pay for, whatever breaks. And he would hit catches to us and he would hit very hard. Oh, and we realized that if you try to stop the leather ball, it hurts you more. So we decided that we are better off, catching it. So I think also the bike parked right behind me for, 5-6 years every time, or most of the time when we were catching, that also got me closer to motorcycles, and it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. So, slightly fun question. If you had to pick a biking companion from the cricketing world, any country, not just Indian, who would you pick and why?
Well, it's difficult, because I've not heard from many cricketers that, they love to ride a motorcycle. They would love to, come for a ride and stuff like that. So there are hardly many who actually ride a motorcycle because one of the perception is that it is very unsafe. In the sense, to put it very simply, in a motorcycle, unlike a car, whether it's your fault or not, if there's an accident or if you fall, you will get hurt. And most of the athletes, they're very worried about their joints, especially knees and elbows. So most of the players, they stay away from it. But people who have sat with me on a bike and we have been on a ride, I can pick one who I would not take as a companion, and that will be Suresh Raina, because he starts moving. So if he sees a truck getting close, he starts
backseat riding.
Yeah, he starts to move. And I think same is the case with my wife. A long time back, we were in Delhi, so at night, I said, okay, we'll go for a ride. So she was sitting behind, and nicely, mostly empty road, so I'm riding like this. So there was a truck. So we were on the left side, at a cruising speed. So all of a sudden I realized my bike is slowly moving towards the left. I'm like, that shouldn't happen. Maybe the tire pressure or something is wrong. Then I realized there was a truck. So my wife is like, there's a truck on the right, there's a truck on the right, and started moving to the left. So that was the last time I was like, no, I'm not taking you for a ride.
On a Eurogrip tire, you don't have to worry about it.
My wife will still be sitting there. Because it wasn't the tire, she was moving the motorcycle.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing that moment. Any other funny situation, not with your wife, when you're on a bike?
So I've not had many accidents, but I had fallen a couple of times, touch wood. So once it was in my colony. So what they had done was they put these big humps as speed breakers, So I was in a motorcycle all alone. So what I decided was the hump is too big, so you'll go around it.
Yeah.
So there was grass, and it was monsoon season. So I must be like 10 or 15 kilometers, not even that. So I braked. This is the speed breaker. I went on the left. Then as soon as I turned back onto the road, the motorcycle just goes off, and I'm on the road. So the first thing, I'm looking upward. So, okay, there's no one, nobody has seen me fall. Then I get up sheepishly and I start riding. So basically what had happened was underneath, so the grass is the same height, but underneath there was difference in the height of the soil. So from here, once I started going up, it was different. So I just slipped. And yeah, so that was one memory, where I was like, thankfully nobody watched me.
Nobody saw. Yeah, that's right. Serious one. If there's one person that you're grateful to, who would that be for what you are today?
I think my parents, because they had to sacrifice a lot. And I feel a lot of discipline that I have today is because of my parents. And friends are always important, you have a different set of friends when you are in maybe till class 2 in my case, then from class 3, 4 onwards, the friends change a bit. Then, finally when you go to plus 2, it changes. So I always felt friends are a very important part of who you are, because everything else, so upbringing can be the same, when it comes to two siblings, but it's the friends that really make a big difference. And the upbringing helps you choose what is the right thing to do. You'll have 5, 10, 15 or 40 different friends, and everybody will be doing different things, but it's the upbringing, that helps you choose what is the right thing to do. Yeah, so I'm grateful to my parents and my close friends.
Good old saying, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. That's it. After stepping away from international cricket, how has life changed? Are there any aspects that you miss and those that you've gained because you're not traveling?
Well, I thought I'll get more time, but sadly I've not got a lot of time. I don't miss international cricket because I always believe, you think about everything, then you take a decision. Once you have taken a decision, no point really, thinking about it again. So I'm very happy with, with God's grace, whatever I was able to do for my country. Other than that, it has been fun. I've been able to spend time with a lot of friends. I can do a lot more motorcycle rides, not the long ones, but that's something that is very close to my heart. So that's something I keep on doing regularly, even if it's going to the gym when I'm in Ranchi, or I live on the ring roads. I can just go around the city, and it will take me maximum 40-45 minutes. So that sense of freedom, that sense of doing what you really love, and spending time with the family, because when you're playing all the 3 formats, you actually don't get a lot of time with the family. And now with the daughter growing up, the first 6-7 years were fine. Now she has actually started asking, okay, when you coming back? So, whenever I give her a call from outside, whether it's FaceTime or anything, the first question, she's like, okay, when are you coming back? So, in the moment you say, okay, I'm coming back on, like after 6 days or 7 days, she goes like, can you come tomorrow? I'm like, why do you do all this calculation when you're supposed to say the same thing? But yeah, so it has been good.
Daughter dear. That said, you still play cricket, and intense cricket, so which means you have to keep fit through the year. It's not that you can get fit one fine morning and start playing. How do you manage this supremely fit self of yours?
So I would definitely say that I'm not as fit what I used to be. A lot of effort now needs to be there on what you are eating, and I'm doing very specific things to be fit for cricket. And we are not fast bowlers, so our requirements are not that intense. So